What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Action Club Podcast. Is it Action Club Podcast? Oh, fuck. Oh, man. You'll have to edit that first part out. My bad, dude. All right.
No, is it
You guys
not
ready?
Action Club Podcast? What is it? Action.
We've just been calling it Action Club.
I think we've been calling it Action Club Podcast. Action Club. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. You're right.
Just give me one more. I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What's up, boys?
Heyo.
I cannot hear Ben.
What the fuck?
Ben's body language is excellent, though.
Fuck, that's so weird.
Ben.
I'm gonna go in a different room.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, that's not guaranteed.
He's just checking, man.
Fuck you guys.
Checking the mic. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Mic check. Dun, dun.
Go to your room.
You fucking bitch. You fucking.
Marco,
God
these are
damn
my anti-man boob exercises.
There we go. Yeah, some pec deck.
I do 3 sets of these.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And I do 3 sets of these.
I don't know what he's doing over there.
And I do 3 sets of these.
He's committed. Ben's committed to this practice. I love it.
And I do 3 sets of these.
Is this a legitimate practice that you're?
And I do that. I do that every day.
My man.
Trying to make these boobies disappear. I don't want to feel the jiggle anymore.
That's you got a long road, my guy.
I don't want my daughter trying to latch on to my chest.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep all this in.
Oh boy. That's it. I'm gonna do that next time to get into character. I'm just gonna do some of these. Some of these.
When I was growing up, ESPN had a lot of workout shows, you know? And they had like old Jack LaLanne on in the morning. Do you know who Jack LaLanne is?
That name sounds familiar.
Like super old school dude. And he'd wear like look him up. But he literally had this exercise to strengthen your jaw, and you'd put your hand under and like open your jaw like and with resistance. To like firm up your jaw here.
Oh shit! All right.
Wow.
I'm ready to go, boys.
If you want to have a man jaw.
Oh, I could feel it.
Right?
You can feel it working.
Look him up. Jack LaLanne. Great stuff.
Jack
a lot of medicine
LaLanne,
balls. A lot of
I just feel cramped.
You feel cramped?
Hell yeah, man.
In your bed?
No, no. I'm gonna. That's gonna hurt me. I'm gonna get that fucking. You ever had a neck cramp? Oh, those are the worst.
Yes, those suck.
They happen to me sometimes in like public, and I'm just like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
I got an ab cramp for the first time in a while yesterday, and that I don't know if you ever had one of those. It kills.
I've had one of those. Those worse.
It feels like someone's like sticking a knife in your gut.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we got 1 minute left, and then we're done.
Okay.
Great movie, guys.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to Action Club Podcast, your weekly hangout for great conversations, big laughs, and even better vibes. I'm DeMarco Crum, joined by Ben Weber and Tanner Spies. This week we watched The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, and we can't wait to dive in and share our thoughts. Whether you're listening or watching, we're glad you're here. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to share it with your friends and follow us on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, let's get into it. Tanner, what's your first reaction since you just saw this for the first time?
I did just see this for the first time
and wanted to watch it,
and I did want to watch it. The funny story is I was gonna pick a different movie, and it was like 2 hours, and I was like, fuck, that's a long, or it was like 2.5 hours. I was like, fuck, that's a long time. So then I searched around for other movies, and this came up a bunch of times, and I picked it. And then like a night before we were supposed to watch it, which was last week, I looked and it was 180 minutes, and it's like, motherfucker, what did I do?
Yep.
But it's a classic movie. It's obviously very well known. We haven't watched a Clint Eastwood movie yet, I don't think.
It's our first one.
First one.
So I wanted to, kick it off with a good one. I really liked it. I mean, it was absurdly long with a lot of story that, didn't necessarily need to be there,
They
but
took some detours.
it took some
Yeah.
detours for sure, but it wasn't necessarily boring detours. I mean, there were things to watch and action that had a lot of action throughout the movie. I thought it was good and mostly captivating. It just was like some parts were just like, why is this in here? But I thought it was really good, and I loved the obviously the standoff scene. I liked how long they spent before anything happened.
Yeah.
I liked how many, like, it was over a minute, over maybe minute and a half of them thinking about shooting each other, which I think you just don't see really in modern movie or movies in the last like 30 years really that I've seen, is like just the actual standoff part of a standoff. So I really like that. I like the characters. I liked the dun 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 every time something happened. That was great.
Yep.
Talked about that
The music's
a lot.
awesome.
Great music. And when you reminded me that it was the same person who did Django, right?
Yeah, Django and
Yeah,
Kill Bill.
it definitely, in both of those you can hear a lot of like similarities. So I really liked
absolutely.
it. I thought it was good. Still thought it was long, but not necessarily like hurts your butt, like don't want to be here kind of long. So I liked it.
Yeah, I agree. It was not. It's. I love how it just turns into a war movie, like a straight up Civil War movie for like a good 15, 20 minutes. You're like, okay, you guys are in the shit now. I mean, it's just like, okay, so we're fighting a war now, I guess. So
and things are so bad that these dudes just walked right in, and they're like, yeah, just hang out.
Yeah,
don't get killed. Careful.
Yeah, I like how they just decided to just do a nice little social commentary on war and kind of the futility of it. That was interesting. I saw this movie when I was a kid for the first time, so I just remember the cowboys shooting each other, the gunslingers and all that stuff. So, but it's every time you rewatch something, you see it, through different lens when you're older. So, but this was a great pick, dude. Yeah, Clint Eastwood was missing on our resume, and that was a problem that needed to be rectified. He's an icon. I mean, nothing short of an icon. Still kicking it. He's like 94 right now, and still around.
Really?
And he may be coming out with another movie.
He has a brand new movie out, Juror Number 2.
No way. Like that he's in, or that he's directed?
That's his movie.
He directed it, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That is his movie. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I heard it's pretty good. I've seen his last couple movies that he's directed in his 90s.
Yeah.
And they're pretty entertaining. One he acted in, Cry Macho, is like at least 90 years old in that movie.
I liked Cry Macho, man. I mean, I think a lot of people didn't really like it. I mean, they compared it to the rest of his work, but it's just enjoy it, man. It's a fun movie. And
The Mule, he's in that, where he famously has
good.
2 threesomes in that movie.
My man.
Clint Eastwood has 2 threesomes in that movie?
Yeah, in The Mule.
Wow.
And he's over the age of 85.
Good for him.
Yeah. Well, what's really crazy is he was, when I'm jumping forward a few decades, but when Unforgiven came out, I mean, he was at the peak of his powers. Like he was in his 60s, and he was in that movie, and then he goes on, continues to, continue his run. Obviously, he'd done Dirty Harry, he'd done this movie as well as the other 2, Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More. Those are known as like the Man with No Name trilogy, Tanner. It's the same. Clint Eastwood's in all 3 of them. as is Lee Van Cleef. So
Ben mentioned a little bit about them, that the first one's kind of the short and sweet, and then the middle one's got just the right amount, and then the third one's a little bit long. But I also, what I didn't know, which I asked him about kind of mid-movie, was he talked about the trilogy, and I was like, so were all these characters in them? I didn't know that the trilogy was like 3 unrelated movies, all the same characters but unrelated movies, which is
it's like a trilogy. It's a weird.
I don't know about another trilogy that I could think of that like that. It's like 3 connected-ish movies, but not really.
Yeah, they're all in the same folder, but not necessarily linked.
No,
Other than like the ingredients.
Right. The only other attempt was John Carpenter's original vision for Halloween. The first Halloween was going to be the only one about Michael Myers, and then 2 and 3 were going to be totally separate, which 3 was a separate story. So it was meant to be like an anthology series. So that did not work. Turns out people really liked Michael Myers, and they wanted more of the guy in the white mask doing his thing. So
and Halloween 3 is great.
Halloween 3 is awesome. It's underappreciated. So as a little side note, as you know, I like my side notes. Speaking of The Wire, no, I'm just kidding. If you guys listen to the last one, you'll be chuckling. If not, you're like, what's he talking about? But this movie, again, great pick, Tanner, directed by Sergio Leone, the great director who did all 3 of the films I just mentioned. And it was filmed in Italy, which I actually did not know that, Ben, about this, the whole thing.
A lot of Spain, too.
A lot of Spain as well. So I always thought spaghetti western because of the Italian director, but I didn't realize that they were actually filmed in Italy. So that's cool.
The reason it came up is because I was watching like the guy with no legs speak to someone, and I was like, do you think that's what he's really saying? Because it obviously seemed dubbed or something like that. And then Ben said that's why it's called spaghetti western, because they're usually filmed in Italy, and there's a lot of like local talent that doesn't speak the language. And then for the next like 20 minutes, all I could see was just a fuck ton of dubbing of people.
There's so much.
I couldn't unsee it. And then, I forgot about it as you watch the movie a little bit, but then it comes back and you're like, oh yeah, they're not saying any of these words.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
but it's fun. I mean, we got to talk about the music some more. Like I'm in love with the music. I love it. I will listen to the Ennio. I think it's Morricone. I think it's how you pronounce his last name. I listen to his stuff all the time. I mean, there's like just like greatest hits off stuff on YouTube, and his music's beautiful. I mean, and actually they use some of his music in Inglourious Basterds as well. I cannot remember the sequence, but it's one of the ones in the movie. And Tarantino obviously loved his music, and that's the reason he brought him in to do part of the score for Django, and then also part of the score for Kill Bill. The best one is when she's in the coffin and she starts 1-inch punching her way through the coffin. That music that was written by him for that movie, and it's kicks ass. Oh, it's so good.
It really helps a scene, progress. All the scenes that you see the music in, that's like an extended song or extended score, it really helps the actual scene. So that's cool.
I liked it. Is funny to watch, because we did obviously watch The Quick and the Dead, and you can totally see where that movie was heavily inspired by this one, by Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I like that they took more time on the close-ups on each of the gunslingers in the standoff, particularly in the end. The Quick and the Dead kind of went faster. They were like back and forth with the quick zoom, which I also thought was really cool, and especially like with the clock and then with the gunslingers. But I thought the way they did it with 3 was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen?
I would love to get
cool.
like take that 7 minutes or whatever where they're all just staring at each other and like put it on a loop for like 4 hours. Right.
Yes, I agree.
That on the TV of like supercut. Of that music. And like,
I agree. Just take a break here and there. Yeah, just a break every 2 minutes or so for Clint to light another cigar.
Yeah, exactly.
Tuco can take another swig of bourbon.
I just want to zone out. I want to take a gummy, and I just want to watch that for 4 hours.
That sounds good. Yeah. It's just. it's one of the things I love the most about the 60s, that just that decade of movies. There's so many just tough guys, like really cool tough guy roles. I mean, Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef. I always forget his name, but the guy that plays Tuco. And obviously you've got James Bond and you've got Bullet. And there's just some really cool, badass, just super apex predator characters
cool
that are
dudes
very
doing cool shit.
Cool dudes doing cool shit. And obviously before the muscle era, you know, with Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Van Damme and like the more physical.
These guys weren't doing steroids.
Exactly.
Like, you boys.
No, they were not doing steroids. No.
They were not.
They were
so
they were in good shape, but there's no.
I don't even think they were doing my anti-man boob exercises.
That's right. No, they were keeping it slim, high and tight.
Yeah. I will say in the future, I feel like this is definitely going to be a pick in the future, is the Dirty Harry. That's gonna pop up at some point too. You'll love that one as well.
Came close to my choice. I've seen Dirty Harry, but it came close to my.
Yeah.
I think the reason I didn't choose it is because I've already seen it.
Oh, nice.
Second one, seen the Magnum Force, is definitely on my short list.
It's so good. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Bad motorcycle cops.
Yeah,
I have not seen that.
The first one is with the sniper, right? Is with the sniper. Yeah. That's seen that one.
Yeah. Did I know this movie or this trilogy kind of like, you know, helped move along Clint Eastwood's career? Did the other two main people, they pick up lots of work in the future, or no? Like, I don't
to
really
bring
know
it to bring it back to John Carpenter. Lee Van Cleef was in Escape from New York, so he did do that.
He had a good career for sure.
Yeah, he went on to he did other things as well. I just can't remember, but
he was around for a long time.
Yeah, just not on the Eastwood level, really. Right. Who is though?
Got those cheekbones.
He does have the cheek. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
he's a distinctive looking dude.
He really does.
That's very true.
I mean, Clint's career is really cool because the 60s were his like westerns. I mean, 60s and 70s were his westerns decade, and then he does Dirty Harry. Then he comes back and does westerns again, and then just complete, like, kind of pulls almost a Mel Gibson, but more successful and less scandalous. He goes on to do the directing and acting and just starts putting out some like amazing movies, some really, really powerful films. Obviously $1 Million Baby, Gran Torino. I mean, he puts out some bangers. So he I mean, his run has been nothing short of legendary. I mean, it's like iconic. So
definitely.
I mean, so it is really good stuff. So let's go into the categories. And I think some of these are going to be kind of fun. And we'll add the new one that I mentioned via text a couple weeks ago. We'll talk about the Cruise Index and that whole funness. So first one, Polly Award for most useless character.
I mean, there were a lot of useless characters.
There's a lot of fat to trim.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of detours in the movie. I just don't think that everyone was necessary to the whole situation. I don't know.
It's kind of everybody outside of the big three.
It is.
Yeah. Like, there's a main storyline, but and when it follows them, it makes sense. But other than that, pretty much everyone, like Ben said, is like if he wasn't in the movie, it wouldn't change the movie really for me. For me, it's everyone. What about you?
I was originally just gonna say the captain, that whole sequence, just the drunk captain walking around, and again, it's like it's a social commentary on war, and it was all about like the bridge. I mean, obviously they needed to get across to go reach the cemetery, but it just, that whole, everything about that just felt like what are we watching again? Is this a western?
Bridges were big in movies those days.
They were big in movie. Yeah,
he did say that. Yeah,
so that was a big thing. Yeah, Bridge on the River Kwai, all that good stuff. So some extra characters
that tangent in particular. I was talking to Ben right before that movie or that scene came up, and I was like, all right, we've got all the information. We're good to go. We're ready to.
We're gonna head right into the final act.
And Ben was like, yeah, after just about another hour. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck do you mean another hour?
Well, I
Like,
did a time check around that time too, and was like, "Oh shit, was this another hour?"
we've solved all the things that we need to solve. Like, we know the guy's gonna be there, so we killed all the other guys. We got past it. We're good. And then
Yeah.
that portion happened, which is great. I mean, there was a lot of action in that, but yeah, the captain and that whole scene was wildly irrelevant. Wildly.
Yeah. So
one of the
So we're
most
just gonna-
dudes rock movies we've seen. There's one woman in this movie, and she's just sleeping in the street. You have to like kick her out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
that's true. That's true. I totally forgot there was
There's
only
maybe
basically
some
one
other
lady.
there are some other ladies at the like Tuco hangings towards the beginning, but like
Yeah. You didn't see another woman in the movie for like 2.5 hours.
no.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Oh wow.
Does
It's
not
very-
pass the
yeah.
Bechdel test.
No, it would not pass the Bechdel test. I honestly don't think that many movies that we watched would.
No,
true.
I don't think so.
That's
I
funny.
don't think so.
I don't think I can't think of a movie that we have watched that does, other than maybe Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
yeah. Whenever two ladies are talking in Kill Bill, they're talking about Bill. So that doesn't.
That's true.
That's fair. So in that case, nothing does. I mean, we haven't watched any yeah,
We gotta step it up.
that's a great point.
We've got time, man. We're still new in this game, so we got plenty of meat left on the bone. So
Yeah.
But I agree with you guys. I think it's just everybody that's not the three main characters basically get cut
Yeah.
for the most part. So Bishop Award for most underrated character.
I mean, this one's a hard one for these types of categories, because it's just like,
Yeah.
it's really a movie about the three main characters, and they're all
I'm gonna say
very involved.
I'm gonna say the horse at the end. Like, dude's like lugging around Clint Eastwood and all his
That's
all his
a
shit.
lot of
and he's
weight,
like,
yeah.
here you go, buddy. Here's four bags of solid gold. You know those are gonna be
Yeah.
heavy. Like what, $100,000 worth of gold coins? That's gotta be some heavy currency.
Is it
Yeah.
possible that Clint Eastwood's character is underrated because like, or at least by the other two guys, because they get into this three-way standoff with him, and it's pretty established that he's like
Yeah.
the best gunslinger in the world. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's gonna smoke them no matter what happens.
Yeah. Even Tuco knows from like the first scene that like he can really take out anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of who the characters think is underrated, it's definitely Clint Eastwood character for sure.
Yeah, they're underestimating him.
Throughout the whole movie, they underestimate it. It's not
agreed.
just in the standoff, but it's in like every situation.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would agree with that for sure. Yeah.
I love my little I always try to connect movies to other movies because that's how my monkey brain works. I love the fact that
funny story.
in Die Hard, Hans Gruber is calling John McClane Mr. Cowboy. And in that movie, he hands Hans Gruber the Beretta that's empty. And he's like, "Oh, no bullets. What you think of fucking stupid Hans?" But then that's what Clint Eastwood does to Tuco.
No bullets.
He gives him the empty revolver. So
that was smart. I didn't know that was
cool.
I thought for sure Tuco was gonna die first. They were both gonna. I don't know.
I thought he was gonna pop them both real quick. Yeah. Did you guys notice on Lee Van Cleef's the close up on his hand? Did you notice that it looked like he was missing
a finger? Yeah,
he was missing the fourth digit of his fingertip of his middle finger.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh,
hardcore.
That's cool.
That used to be a thing. I remember my uncle and my grandfather were like
he's
missing parts
actually
of their
missing
fingers.
that. It's not
Yeah. I
part
think
of the
so.
fucking.
That was a thing back in the day. Like if you were a dude, you just had part of a finger missing.
Yeah.
How does that?
Well, my
Because you worked
professor
in like a machine shop or something, or like or you
That's crazy.
something.
I'm gonna give this guy a shout out because he's an American hero and a badass. Retired from the U.S. Army, Colonel Thompson. He's the one that taught my military science class and took me to go do the training with the SWAT team in North Carolina. And his right index finger, he's missing the fingertip, and he was infantry in the military, so he learned how to fire with the next digit, which is pretty impressive.
Crazy.
So
that would be very hard to do,
and
that would be irritating.
And I saw him shoot, man. He could hit some shit. So it was but Ben is right. A lot of weird machine based accidents in the old days.
Was he like the colonel from Starship Troopers, the teacher?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But like more physically intact. So
yeah.
Michael Ironsides?
Oh yeah.
You
so
guys,
Tanner
read the book.
we
Yeah,
read
yeah,
the book, yeah.
Nerd.
So
book.
Tanner hasn't seen the movie yet, but he'll get to enjoy it.
I did watch the movie.
Oh, that's right. You did watch it.
After we read the book.
That's another podcast. That's another podcast.
That's right. I love this. The worlds are they're just coming together, man. This is a beautiful thing.
That colonel sounds very much the same as the colonel in the book.
This movie
I thought it was
is like little mini film school. Like I clocked, I don't know, 5 things in this movie like that were direct influences and scenes in other movies. Like
100%.
That's true.
Mad Max, any Mad Max stuff, right? Even Furiosa, the new one, or like
big time.
John Wick 3 and like Quick and the Dead.
Yeah,
I said that too when he puts the round in right before the
in here.
A lot of John Wick stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't make any of those connections. Obviously,
I don't know if, and you're much more versed than I am, Ben. But the shot that really stood out to me in the beginning was
from years and years and years and years and years.
Just so we're clear, Ben is the master. He's gotten a lot of reps in.
Has a lot of reps.
Ben's the guy. So Ben, the scene where Lee Van Cleef is in the doorway, kind of leaned over, and you kind of see his shadowy silhouette. That has to be in like another. That has to be in other movies
for sure.
What's that?
The Searchers. That's like a very famous shot where they go out the doorway, of this like dimmed house, and it opens up into like the whole west. It's very You see like John Wayne is silhouetted there.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Weber, our guy. Yeah. He's on it. I don't know if this is intended, but there was a shot similar to that in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies where it's like the end of an alleyway and you see Freddy Krueger kind of like leaning against the wall with his claws. So
that's one of the big like influential like shots of the doorway and the dude in it. And like
and it's Wes, it's Wes Craven who was which is cool. No, I love that. That's really, really neat. So, and that's been used in so many Westerns too, which is fantastic. So, all right. Would this main character make your starting 5 to protect you for 48 hours?
No,
because any one of the 3 is gonna fuck you. So you're
That's true.
You cannot trust any of these people.
They're gonna outfox you. Yeah,
help you.
That's true.
Clint just doesn't have the sense of urgency that I need in someone who's protecting me from the end of humanity.
But he might be alive, but he's gonna take all your shit.
But if you pay the bad Lee Van Cleef, he always sees the job through.
That's true.
But unless someone else pays him to kill you, like I love how he has his like honor,
even
though he's like psychopath.
He's for sale.
Yeah. So
the store is never closed with him.
Yeah, I guess you just have to outbid everybody else, and then you're good.
I don't want that. That doesn't.
But the auction never ends.
But the auction
never ends. I don't want a partner. Right. We got a new high bidder protecting me in that case. No, I don't have endless money. I mean,
Yeah, I think these guys, all three of them, are out.
He's a good shot, but he doesn't have
Tuco is
superpowers.
definitely out. That's a slimy.
Tuco's definitely out.
Oh no, yeah,
Tuco is
too much of a
1000%
wild
out.
card.
Yeah, the only person I'd consider is maybe Clint Eastwood's character, but he just doesn't have. He's just fucking smoking all the time, and
he's so chill.
We heard Tuco's rap sheet, like rape and
multiple times.
Polygamy.
Yeah,
he really covered all the bases.
They got really detailed with his crimes.
They did. They sure did. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to repeat it out here, but it was some of it was like, oh, I didn't need to hear all of that. Those details. It was like, okay.
We went in to make sure that we knew that he was a bad guy, and then
just so we're clear,
he was just a fun little lovable idiot for the rest of the movie.
I did love the scene where they concoct the plan, and then they're at the next place for him to get hanged, and they're like, and 15 counts. They like added the count, like it was 14 originally, and 15 counts of. I love that part. I'm
not sure I even want to hang out with any of these guys. Like
I'd hang out with Clint for like a day.
Yeah, but he's just smoking and staring at you.
Sounds like kind of a good afternoon.
Sounds like a good time.
On occasion, every once in a while, like a little dudes weekend, chilling, smoking.
Well, would you want to hang out? Well, here's the question. Let's go deeper. Would you rather hang out with Man with No Name, Clint Eastwood Western, or Dirty Harry?
Dirty Harry, I think.
Dirty Harry.
Man with no name.
Well, Dirty Harry's in San Francisco. It's just
that's true.
More fun than the desert.
Dude, his suit game in those Dirty Harry movies is strong. He has some sleek suits in those movies, man. The sport coat.
Ben does not ever. He told me he does never want to end up in a desert, and I told him, I mean, it'd be very, very unlikely that unless something financially tragic happens, that he won't end up in a desert.
No desert. No thanks.
So he's out for any desert.
But speaking of deserts, to come back to John Wick, there's that whole sequence in the third one where he's wandering across the desert, to go meet the guy, the high table guy. What's his? I don't remember his name now, but
have better luck in the desert than Clint did. He looked pretty rough at the end of that.
Also, the makeup work was pretty intense. Like he looked really bad.
He looked
whole sunburnt, really dehydrated.
A lot around the lips. It was really
there was a lot of lips.
Impressive, honestly.
There was a lot of lip stuff. Yeah.
It was also, if I'm in the hospital,
lots of lip stuff. Yeah.
If I'm in the hospital and I'm in rough shape, don't touch my lips. Don't.
I like how he fucking stuck his hand in the water and then
in coffee. It was coffee.
Oh yeah, I would fucking throat punch him
away
with all my remaining energy.
I agree.
Let me just touch your lips.
Please don't touch my lips like ever. I don't care if we're dating. Don't touch my lips with your fingers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Seriously.
I don't want that. I don't want my bros' hands anywhere near my lips.
Oh man.
Nor do I want a stranger who's been out.
Not unless I'm like
unbathed in the desert for the last 2 weeks.
If we're doing like choking protocol and you're like trying to scoop something out of my mouth, I guess that would be the one exception.
I don't want that either. Let me die.
Oh shoot. Yeah, I don't think any of them would make my top 5 either. Because again, I think you're right. They would screw you over as soon as they could and take your shit and leave. So
yeah.
MacGyver Award for most innovative escape, kill, etc.
I mean, having your gun in the bathtub with you.
That was cool.
That's pretty cool.
Smart. Super smart.
Pretty tight. Yeah.
The smartest thing he did all movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really a kill or escape necessarily, but I did love, a fuck ton of dynamite on the bridge for, as is with all the explosions in these old movies, a real explosion. That's not real explosion. Right? Like, you saw that shit blow up and you saw the shockwave go throughout the whole...
shook the valley.
They really went all in. So I do love a solid old school explosion.
I agree. I think flicking the match with the thumb is so badass. That's the most badass thing in this whole movie. I
gotta
get
get
like,
Strike
oh
Anywhere
man,
matches.
I'm just gonna buy a bunch of fucking Strike Anywhere matches and try that shit.
learn how to do it. What's
Yeah.
the noir movie, Ben? Where
That
the
was
guy,
bad.
there's the main character does that too. I can't remember.
I mean, a lot of them.
It's not Strangers on a Train.
It's just like a cool guy thing to do.
It is a cool guy thing to do, yeah.
Cool guy.
I mean,
thing.
it's pretty badass. So, but there's, I don't remember. It's a guy in a trench coat, hat, very typical noir.
Oh, that guy in the noir movie. With the
that guy.
Coat and the hat.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I'm really narrowing it down. There's it's only probably talking about 1,000 movies. Yeah, yeah, seriously. So, but I agree. I think the bathtub, that was definitely smart. Great. I will say, like, using the cigar to light the cannon was cool too. It was just like,
cool.
that was cool. Like,
yeah,
and just
it's pretty good.
I love the fact
cannon.
that he definitely didn't move the cannon.
He's deadly accurate,
but so accurate
without moving it at all.
He's so accurate.
We'll talk about that in the next category.
Like enough to rattle Tuco, but not enough to like blow him and his horse to bits. That was amazing. So the one last ride for family award for corniest line, I'll say either that or just your favorite lines that you remember.
What's yours, DeMarco?
I like the ice cold shit he says to the guy in the bed before he shoots him. He says, "When I'm paid, I always see the job through to the end." Like that part's pretty. That line's pretty badass. So,
I mean, I love if you're gonna shoot. Don't talk.
I do love that.
If you're gonna shoot,
don't talk. If you're gonna shoot. That's a good one.
That's right. Yeah,
and it's surprising that a movie character would say that, because usually they fucking blabber on so the other person can get their shit together.
Well, that turns into like a big sort of motif in Bond movies, right? Where like, the villain is monologuing.
Let me explain my whole plot to you.
And giving Bond
which happened in this movie also.
Yeah.
Which there was more, monologuing, this is what I plan to do, and you're like, for fuck's sake, you're like, just do it then. But just obviously it wouldn't really be a movie.
Well, it's like Scott. It's like Scott when he's talking to Dr. Evil in Austin Powers. Come on, Dad. I'll go get my gun. We'll shoot him. We'll do it together. Bang. Done. No, Scott.
That's a pretty good Dr. Evil.
I've practiced many, many years. We'll save it for a future pod, but I'll bust out some of that.
For Austin Powers. Ooh,
Austin Powers fun.
One. Yeah.
Could be a good one. So, but yeah, I've seen that movie way too many times. I could probably quote it front to back. So I think
we should just have you do a reenactment of Austin Powers in place of a movie.
Why don't you and the laser get a freaking room here?
Oh boy.
$1 million.
Oh my god.
Okay, I think that's enough to be out of my system. I think we're good now.
It's Ben's sheer like, oh fuck.
He's like, we really opened up Pandora's box here.
Here we go.
So we are here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Name you would steal for your own project. So a band, album, festival. The deal.
I mean, it's not really named, but Man with No Name is a great.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
That's a sick. I mean, it's not really. It's just kind of like a description, but you don't.
I think that sounds cool though.
But I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
That'd be a good, band, or that'd be a solid, album name.
I mean,
Blondie
U2 has
would be
song.
A good name for a band.
Ooh, Blondie would be a good name.
Blondie is a band.
Very good, the bad, and the ugly sounds like an album name too. I think
very feminine nicknames for the two of the leads. You got Angel Eyes and Blondie.
That's true. That's very
Angel
funny.
Eyes,
Actually, yeah.
Angel Eyes would be a great song.
Those don't sound like tough guy names.
No, they
well,
don't.
you could change it too. You could say "Behind these angel eyes." You know what I mean? Instead of hazel eyes. So And I think The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, that could be like a fucking 3-part album of like 3 discs.
It could be
you know.
be like the third movie in an unrelated trilogy of movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. So
I like
a concept album without a concept, void of a
That's right.
of a cohesive concept. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would.
There we go. Someone will do it one day. So we can say that we
will.
said it here first.
Oh, DeMarco, who do you think, if you had to name the three of us, who would be the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Oh, damn, that's great. Oh shit. I feel like I'm the least reliable member of this crew, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump on the grenade. I'm the ugly. I'm just gonna jump. I'm just gonna take it. So you guys have to battle it out.
Okay, no. This question has already been answered by Ben, so I want to hear the remainder of your two. Who do you put as the good and the bad?
Oh man, this is tough. I would say Tanner sends me a lot of really dark humor reels on Instagram, which is leading him towards the bad.
Okay, but Ben snaps at strangers in a movie theater.
He does.
When they are minding their own business, but interrupting his viewing experience.
Yeah, I'm the
but
bad.
That's also a man of principle, though. He doesn't get onto people for no reason.
That's
it's
right.
If you violate the sanctity.
He walked outside his hotel room to yell at a man that was running.
Did you really?
I sure did.
Wait, why? Oh, was he running in the hallway?
He was running in the hallway.
He was running occasionally up and down the stairs to his room.
This is in like an ancient bed and breakfast where
like he was doing a workout.
Everything in the
he
whole
would,
building.
He would run up to his room, up
rickety
the stairs,
old building. The stairs are right outside my room.
And after the third time of him going to his room, Ben came outside and was like, "Hey, stop."
No, I happened to be leaving the room, and he was standing right there at the top of the stairs. And I said, "Stop running."
That can't be what he said.
I did, because Ruth was 5 feet away, so I had to be nice.
Hey,
can I have I need a visual. What's give me a good solid description of this person that was doing this running. Was this like a young guy?
Picture like a mid-30s runner guy.
Picture a grown man that Ben went, "Hey."
A grown man. Hey,
shut it down, bro.
Stop running. And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "The stairs are, my room is right. Can you just cut it out?" And that was it. And the person at the front desk loved it, and Ruth was okay with it. So that's a win for me.
Oh, you're good. Then that's the solid.
The person
win.
at the front desk gave me a thumbs up because she heard the whole thing.
I mean, Ben, you're my hero because you have the courage to say the things that I wish I could say, but I have never.
We were staying in this rickety old Airbnb, or not Airbnb, like a little inn.
Yeah.
And you can feel every
you can hear.
You can feel it in the whole place.
Yeah.
And this dude is chugging up and down the stairs.
Let me make a further case for why he's the bad. Would would he speak up, or would he just be like, would he just chill? Like, remember the incident where the neighbors
oh no
for being loud upstairs?
Stop it!
Just like,
it was loud.
When that moment happened, I my butthole tightened up for a moment. I was like, shit, Ben is really pissed off.
Those people are so obnoxious.
I was like,
seems
like
something that the bad would say.
They took it really. I mean, they took it really far with the butt
bounce the ball
and
solve the problem.
It did solve the problem.
That's true.
But just in a
they moved away after that. They were so scared they moved away.
They moved away like 8 months later.
Yeah, get out of town.
They had to hear 8 more months of our.
You lost all your Somerville privileges.
You lost all your Somerville privileges. And when you're gone, you stay gone.
Oh boy,
you be gone. Oh, so good. I love when we just
It's
go
fine.
right
I'll
into
take
it.
the bad. DeMarco, you're the ugly. And
Yeah,
Tanner,
I'm
you're the
definitely.
good.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay being the ugly. I mean, Tuco is funny. He's got a funny, really funny side to him, so that kind of resonates with me.
He's great
And
with his
Does.
family.
I have to say, yeah, he's a great family guy.
Yeah.
He deserted his multiple wives and children.
Yeah, but
I
at
got
least he
wives
had
everywhere.
multiple wives. Yeah, everywhere he goes. Yeah,
Yeah, he's setting a really
he's a
good
family
example.
man. Yeah, that's right.
I also love how Clint, pops the rope for him and leaves him with his 100,000, and he just like starts screaming his name. It's like, dude, you got your money. Like, take your money and go.
Just fucking pull your head back, bro. I
Like,
know that's probably not
I
how it
was
works.
thinking
But...
that. Why couldn't he just like wiggle his
Well, I
head?
think the risk is that wiggle
You
your
don't.
feet out from underneath you, and then
yeah,
you're just fucked. I think what you'd have to do is like tippy toe up and quickly get your head out, and I think that's a lot of risk.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think
At
the
some point
tricky,
you're gonna get there, but maybe
You
not
gotta
right away.
really kind
You got to be ready, and it's got to be, I think, two things like all at once. Like, I haven't
yeah,
practiced much, but that's what I would think.
yeah. Let's all set
yeah,
up some nooses and practice together.
yeah. Oh
And
boy.
that's how we found the Action Club. Three of them
The
all
good,
dead.
the bad, and the ugly. They were trying to figure it out.
All three Action Club members hanging.
Yeah.
Oh man. Bravo team going dark. Oh shoot.
What's the
Some
next
some
category?
A some AEA, autoerotic. What? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm gonna cut that out.
Last one I have for you, the cruise index. So it's kind of a new one. What is and we can just say like a 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10. How believable is the character as far as like their skills with the weapon and their tactics and, the general shit they do?
I mean, he was pretty believable until the fucking cannon shots in the end, which were just
Yeah.
like dead on. No, he didn't even move the fucking cannon.
He was
He
smoking.
was
He's
just
just
like,
smoking and lighting it.
he's like, this will fucking hit right where I want it to. Ba-boo!
Yeah.
I don't think guns back in those days were very accurate.
No,
So
but if you
They
practice
were
enough,
very, very inaccurate.
so I don't know about hitting every target every time, but you know.
But I will say he had to reload. Okay, that's a rarity in
Everybody's
modern
reloading. Yes.
movies.
Yeah.
They reloaded. They had the exact amount of bullets that were in their gun after they shot.
There's about 37 minutes in the movie of just people slowly loading bullets into guns.
Yes.
Yeah, I truly appreciated the reloading portion of
A lot of clicking of the cylinder.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That was cool.
I mean, all in all, I thought it was mostly like he wasn't none of them are really like fighters necessarily. They're just gunslingers, and so for the most part, pretty believable. Yeah, you're right. They're not super accurate, but they reloaded. That helps. And the cannon thing, that really brought him down a couple points. But other than that, 7.
I think 7's solid. I did love the shooting the hats off, like just
A lot of that.
just
A lot of
because
that was true.
like that's fun. I mean that's cool. You got to be I don't know. Would it Tanner, obviously way more about weapons than I do. Would you even be able to do that?
No, I mean, if it was a cowboy hat, maybe, because some cowboy
If it
hats
was
like
like tilted up a
real
little bit.
high. But even if you shot, like if I had a cowboy hat that was like faced up this way and you shot up through this way, I don't think the force of even a hefty round would take it off. Like the only thing that would take it off would be like a shotgun blast, and you blow my fucking face through my face. So
Right. Yeah, we wouldn't want to do that.
I think it's a risky move. I don't think that a pistol shot, even from a revolver, would take off your hat.
If Mythbusters ever comes back, I'm gonna email them and say you guys need to test that one out. Assuming they haven't already.
If it'll
they have
take
done
off
it.
their hat. That's true.
So,
they might have.
They could set up a bunch of mannequins and in a
I
desert
was just
somewhere.
trying to shoot his hat off. I didn't mean to
just
shoot
do
him
it.
in the face.
Exactly.
7 times. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Think I just shot Marvin in the face. So we're bringing it back. I love it. Well, boys, this was an amazing film. Another excellent pick, Tanner. We've added Clint Eastwood onto our ranks, which is great. And yeah, this was great. You guys have any other thoughts, any other things to say, or are we ready to go to bed?
We filmed this after we watch a movie at the moment, and it's 11:48 p.m. and old man Ben has to get to bed by midnight. So
Old Ben Kenobi.
Old Ben Kenobi.
Sleeping is awesome. You guys should check it out.
Old Ben Kenobi said he wanted to be in bed by midnight, which is not going to happen.
Head on the pillow.
We wish him the best of luck. So we're going to get out of here. I think it was a great movie. Like I said before I picked it, I wouldn't watch it unless it was in Action Club because it is fucking long and it is a super old movie, which I probably wouldn't watch otherwise. So happy we watched it. And yeah.
It's a very good background movie to like dip in and out of.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it also looks great, like real places.
You don't have to, you don't have to be fully engaged to watch to understand the whole movie as it's going on, because there's a lot of filler time that's not necessarily bad, but it's just not like there's not a whole lot of dialogue that you're missing, right? So yeah, it's good movie.
Even though there's a lot of twists and turns and sideways, it's still a pretty straightforward plot. Guys wanting to get the money, and figuring out how to get it through violence or con work. So, or a combination of the two.
Cream, get the money.
That's it, man. Gotta get that good stuff.
There we go, man. That's it.
So I love it. Well, boys, this has been another great one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another Action Club, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bitches.